Okay.
All right.
Tell me when you're ready. 'Cause
Uh,
I'm never ready.
I'm ready. Yeah.
So we came up with the idea of making a method to have your own local garage sale where all your information can be on your own personal list. People can go and find you based on your email address and find all the things you have available on your yard sale. You can run, in a sense, a virtual garage sale that way.
All year long.
All year long. The item that it's kind of designed to fix is you have lots of places out there that let you sell your stuff, where you can say, I've got this for sale, I got this for sale, I got this for sale, but then you've got 35 other people also, and trying to find just one person's things can somewhat be intermingled, so this way you have your own quick and easy setup with it. So we set up our main page here, and used Foundation as our framework for it instead of using Bootstrap, so that we have something new to play with. Richard spent quite a bit of time figuring out Foundation and all of its little tricks and quirks, or as many of them as we could figure out in a week and a half. So we've got your usual settings, your login and your setup. We have a search area here where you can search if you're just looking for things that are for sale in your area and you're not a user. You can search by zip code, or you can search by name to find things that are up there. That will present with a table. It's supposed to. I'll get to that in a minute. We set up the system, which I wanted to point out. Everybody's been talking about using Google Maps, and Google Maps has a lookup by latitude and longitude that is inaccurate, and it tells you how inaccurate it is when you ask for it. So we used a function that Google Maps would return to us the longitude and latitude of the location of the PC that's doing the lookup. And then from that longitude and latitude, we used a zip code API that you could feed the longitude and latitude to, and that zip code API is called APIzipcode.com. It returned southbound Brook today. On Monday, it was returning Middlebush. So longitude and latitude from Google's API also gives you an accuracy in meters. And we found that the accuracy in meters was anywhere from 3,000 meters to 12,000 meters. That's the accuracy of how accurate Google could figure out where you're standing. So that's why we get what we want, but it's not necessarily where you actually are. It's close. So the main page was here. We go in and we do our sign up. Presented with a sign up screen separate from the rest of it. Comes up on the overlay. And in addition to the regular sign-in information, for the data we need the zip code of the user, and we also chose to grab the person's name as well, so we could make it a little bit more personalized. So we give that on the second screen. And when we complete that registration, and that will come out, but that was just there so that we
had an error, so
we were having a problem. We were trying to figure out.
There's an error on the form. It gives you the screen as inputs are required to the registration.
And in this case, the reason you've got that error is because 1@1.com was already registered. So when he tried to register it, it was giving back an error. You're going to try it again with something else? Oh, you're in the login now. Okay.
We made that error with this, so we can show the password and hide it.
And that brings up, because now we're logged in, that brings up a form that you can fill in to.
Can you so this is
You can hit command plus and command.
Command Shift plus.
I just
There you go.
command.
There you go. He's got it. He's got it. Okay. So that's your entry screen. Now, we could go through and enter this. The problem with it is that we ran into an issue where we've got multi-layers in our Firebase that over yesterday and today, we've been having problems pulling that back out and getting the table to build. So, well, go ahead and enter an item, and then we can show that that's entered. I would just call it.
Jeremiah's heart.
What do you want?
Sell my heart.
What's the description you want to sell?
Sell heart. Yeah,
Jeremiah's heart. And then we have a category for it.
It's electronic.
I don't-
Yeah,
It might fall in the family.
Oh my God.
Is there a drama section?
Not currently. How much do you want to sell it for, John?
My family's worth $20 billion.
Well, I don't know if we'll.
Mine
go
is
that-
$20 billion.
Let's get $20,000.
You're worth $27,000.
And there's only one of them. There's only one, Jeremiah's heart. And you can put in tags for the search later on.
Black market.
Heart Jeremiah. How's that for tags?
So there's a section for you to upload an image when you want to attach an image to your item.
But we don't have Jeremiah's x-rays, so.
So we're just gonna skip that one.
So when we do the submit,
So
it posts up to let us know that it was successful. It is supposed to build the table for you to show you that item, and this is where our returns were not giving us exactly what we're looking for, but we've done the second half of that. So in Firebase, we used email authentication to verify the user. So if you weren't registered already when he went into the login, it wouldn't let you in. He was already registered with 1@1, and this is the user ID created for him within Firebase. So from there, we go over to the database, and we can show you there are currently 2 users with data in here, and that SCVC, et cetera, was the 1@1.com user. And let's go back, let's scroll down to the SV so that we can see. And when he added Jeremiah's heart, it created Jeremiah's heart. What we're having a problem with right now is it's returning the object here, and I'm not, so far I ran into a problem where I'm not getting the second level to pull that into the table, but we should be able to clear that up. But that's where we ran into our problem with the system. And you'll see the one up above, there's been 2 items added into it, plus it keeps the user's information here. I was playing with this earlier and changed, this user was actually registered. If you go back over to what go to the top of this one. Go to the top of the screen here. You see this 6UJRN user ID. If you switch over to authentication, 6UJR is actually 11@11.com, so I was playing with it and I changed the user's email address in there, which you wouldn't normally be able to do, except that I went down on my own in Firebase and did it. A user wouldn't be able to do that. But that's our system. We broke things up where primarily Richard did most of the HTML. Oh, Richard really did all of the HTML work, using Foundation, I'm not even sure what guys you want to talk to, what areas you use.
So for the most difficult part was trying to figure out what Foundation is and how it works, and just basically start everything from scratch. And so it was a bit of a challenge, but
What did you want to see? Well, you need to bring up GitHub here. We're not logged into my GitHub though.
So basically what I did was I just set up the whole HTML, and I just did used column blocks with the HTML. And Foundation, I fell in love with Foundation compared to Bootstrap, because this basically it's just plain English. Whatever you want, just put a hyphen in between them and you get something out of it. like float left, you just float hyphen left, and then you just get it working for you. Float center, and it does everything for you. So this part I did a call out. That's more like a jumbotron in Bootstrap. So I used that one, and then for the search button I used top right bar. So it has its own name, top right bar. So it pushes everything to the top and to the right, and it just gives you whatever you want to put in there. So basically everything that I did was from machine. It has JavaScript, it has CSS, it also uses Motion UI.
We want
We want to refresh
to refresh it.
Okay. It's Command R. You can just hit turn off voiceover.
You were talking about the
Yeah,
scroll bar.
right.
the scroll bar.
So we have this small section that just displays the pictures and it keeps rotating. It's called Orbit, and I had a hard time because I missed just a little word and everything just got messed up here. Everything got messed up here. The good thing is our foundation has they have all their files and also all the files on CodePen, so you can actually go there and then play with it before you put it in your work. So it was very exciting using our foundation, and for the footer, I don't know if you see the date over here. We have a JavaScript file calling the year, and then we just pull in the year and just dump in the year after this. So that's the second year over here. So every year, this date over there is going to change to the next year, and that's how we just put out. That's
So if you bring this up January 1st, it'll show the
Next year is
copyright through 2018.
2018, from 2017 to 2018. So it keeps changing like that, and.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you're pulling the date from, because that's one thing I did run into somewhere.
Well,
If you're
that-
pulling it from the person's computer and their computer
If
date
it-
isn't
if
right,
it's
well,
not
then
right,
it'll,
Right.
then
yeah.
it'll throw junk there.